Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Scaling Up, Growth Strategies for Business Model Design Themes. Let's do a little recap what we had so far and how this is going to be converted into our topic of this chapter. But first of all, we started to talk about value creation. What is value creation? It is actually the source of value and hence profits with the combination and deployment of labor with other resources. So it's basically the combination of resources. Which capabilities do you have as a company? What is your technology? What is your equipment? Do you have IP, for example? What are the processes and structure to capture value, to create value? And which are your partnerships? We already talked about partnerships at the very beginning, and we'll talk about how partnerships change. So this is in general the topic of value creation. That was the first thing we already talked about. The second thing we already talked about is business model design themes, because these are the important design themes which companies use in order to create their unique position towards the customer. Actually, it's not only one design theme, normally it's a combination, but there's a dominant design theme for several companies. And what we did is building on Amit Zot, who started to talk about and had great articles on design themes. We also did our own research and we identified those 7 general business model design themes, which you can see on the left side, and we also already introduced them, which is starting with lock-in and then sponsor base, complementarities, and so on. So let's stick to one, lock-in, for example, the design theme used by Nespresso. So if you buy this kind of coffee machine, you need the capsules to fill the coffee machine. This is a typical lock-in business model. So whenever you bought the machine, and this is why these machines are sometimes really cheap, because they make money via selling the coffee afterwards, but it's a true lock-in thing. Gillette is the same thing. And then you have other 6 business model design themes, and we talked about these business model design themes. And what's interesting, we already said that you normally start with if you start a company, you start with a value proposition towards the customer, and then you work on some kind of design theme. However, not necessarily the one which you also use to grow your company. Because growing your company is another question, and growing the company could also be answered with Ansof's strategic options to scale up. And that's the other perspective on that, and we had that too. What did Ansof say? Ansof said basically, what you are is you do have a market-product combination. This is what your company is about. And now you can think about what do you want to grow. And what you can do is, so you have the market and the product, what you can do is you can penetrate the market, so you can try to sell more in the market you're already in with the products you already have. That's market penetration. And then you can either choose new markets, so develop markets with the old products, or you can develop new products in old markets, or which is product development versus market development, or you can go in a totally new area into the diversification, which is probably the most difficult to do. But this is how Ansof described how companies basically can structure their growth strategies. Now, putting this all together, and this is a discussion which you probably do have as a company, if you want to grow your company, how do you combine business model design themes with growth strategies? And this is the interesting question also for scaling up. And what you can see, it's a very individual decision. The individual decision can be seen over here, because there's both. These companies basically pursue a market penetration strategy. So both are penetrating their existing markets. And be it Aldi, as the supermarket chain, especially known in Germany, but also in other countries. They sell food and sometimes also non-food products. But what is actually their growth strategy, market penetration strategy? It is that they had started an internet presence. They printed leaflets, advertisement in newspapers. They took in the non-food products and basically tried to increase sale in their existing stores. So they had the existing stores, they had existing customers coming. So what they basically try to do is have a higher share of wallet within the existing customers plus new customers from the same area. But not really like changing anything. They were still on the same market with basically the same products. Well, you can discuss whether non-food basically gave them a growth boost or not, but this was not the issue at that moment of time. And this is their growth strategy. If you look at Amazon, they did it in a different way. They didn't do it via marketing. They did it by having a higher user experience, especially through personalization. So they have also regular offers and price discounts, but they proactively market that via the website, and this website is personalized. So that's a different way of going to the existing customers basically than the one Aldi did. And this is the digitalization design theme. In comparison to Aldi, they tried to use their outlets in a more efficient way. So you can see that following a market penetration strategy, you can use different business model design themes in order to do that. And this holds also true for the other strategies Ansoff basically described, the market development strategy, and there you can again look at an efficiency design theme or, for example, a lock-in design theme. And we already started talking about Nespresso, and Nespresso, first, they have a lock-in design theme. And within this lock-in design theme, if you want to sell to customers, you sell the machine, you sell the capsules, but then you see there's actually also people who are environmental aware. They don't like to have a capsule afterwards throw it away. So the idea of introducing a reusable capsule to attract other people was basically their step into doing that. I mean, they were hesitant doing this out of technology reasons on the one hand, and secondly, you can basically also fill the capsule with other coffee. So there is actually a reason to stick to the capsules. However, they tried to enhance with their lock-in design theme to other customers. Looking at the efficiency design theme, gyms are in different price ranges are a perfect example, because what they do actually, after they found the business model, they found their like franchising model or their model in general. What they did is, for example, to try to internationalize, or again, as Aldi, for example, use their existing outlets, their existing gyms, like John Reed did with live DJs, for example, and other design elements to have more customers. So more efficient usage of their existing facilities. And thirdly, last but not least, it's the product development strategy. And again, you can also see different companies following a product development strategy in a different way with a different design theme. So Gillette, as we said, has lock-in design theme, and the product development basically was doing the product portfolio better and better over time. So with products with new characteristics, more blades, and all sorts of things. Same for Bugatti. They also followed a product development strategy, however, with a different design theme. It's more the lifestyle value provider design theme with the new models, with also an outlook to electric cars to expand the target groups and so on. So what are we saying with these examples? It's a combination. That's important to the market side. It's important to combine business model design teams with Ansoff strategy. So what you will do as a company, first of all, you will probably think about, is it possible to penetrate the market, or do you have to go into new markets or new products? This is the first question. And then the second question is, which kind of design theme are you doing that? Is it still your old design theme, which you expand, like Gillette always had the lock-in design theme? Or is it something else? Is it, for example, an efficiency design theme for your growth strategy, because you use existing resources and basically use them in a more efficient way? And this is your customer view, and honestly, now you have to get this to the ground and get going, and this is about value creation.